Good morning, everyone. I thought I'd go back over the TciInspection mobile system before I get on further into the site. And here's the reason why. Over this period of time, there's several things that I've learned as well as I've done that you haven't seen, and I want to take you through them and how I did them and what the ramifications of them are, and we're doing pretty good. In fact, we've actually started the beta testing of this at TCI and gotten some feedback on some minor changes and things. One of the newer features that have been around in 23 to 25, or at least 24 I know, is the ability to change the layout depending upon what the screen is. The way that works is this little block up here, you turn that off. So it's like this. Then you can move things around and the other ones will not move. Okay? So it makes it a little easier if you have somebody that says, well, I have some 7-inch, I got some 10-inch, I got some 8-inch. Well, what you can do is set up the different ones, the different sizes, and you can rearrange things where it's landscape and portrait both, which is what I did. Okay? And then go from there to finish everything else. And it works out very nicely. So that's one thing, and like I said, the only thing you have to do is disconnect this automatic dissociation mode, so that way you can move things around, because normally when you fire it up, you'll see that it's got the two little arrows there, and you don't want that, because that way if you move one, you're going to move all of them. Simple as that. Okay? Now here's the other thing that I've got into here, and I'm going to get into a little different one. The deal about coding the OK and damage to initiate a picture, initiate them to take a camera picture. Obviously, when you're talking about literally every page has got something on there to do that, it gets to be a lot of hand coding. Okay? And there's a way to get around that. In WinDev, for the longest time, you had this thing called Indirection. And this is the first time I attempted to use Indirection inside a mobile to see if it worked when it got converted to Android. But it works. Yes, it actually works. So let's go into this right here, and you can see what I'm doing now. See, what happens is I wrote a global routine called check damage. And all I do is I send the button and the value of whatever they chose. Okay? Well, it's not the value, but the full name of the value is what it is. So each of the fields here, this one here, is the OK or damage for the tractor bumper, and this one here is the button for the image, because this is hidden when it runs. And so what happens is I send the full name to each one of them, and then inside this routine, I'm using Indirection to say what I need to do. So I take the in button name and I make it visible, and I look at the in field name to see if the value is damage. If it is damaged, then I set the button name to true, or the button visibility to true. I send up a toast display saying damaged item is indicated, picture is required, and I do an execute process on that button coming in with a TRT click, and I get the pictures. It works on every one of them. It is a great little thing now. So I've gotten real happy about this. Let me show you all of them, or a big chunk of them anyway. So you can see here that every one of them's got check field and this, that, and the other one. And I'll talk about the check field assist here in a minute. That's a little bit different. But the check damage is on every one of those OK and damage. And all I had to do was come in and put one line of code here, and I can fully work it like I need to through the entire system. Works great. It really does. It works great. Okay. The other thing that I did, there is a assisted input. Okay? And what the assisted input is say, okay, I'm going to configure this that if somebody types in something, it gives them a drop-down choice of what they've typed in before, or they can enter a new one. A lot of people have done this with combo boxes, which you can certainly do with a combo box. But this right here works very nicely for the mobile. So the first thing you have to do is obviously you have to look at the assisted input configuration, configure it, and then I have another routine, again, using Indirection for load help. And what this does is it looks in there whether or not that what you added and add it to that drop list's choice. Okay? Now, the second part is the check field assist. And what this says is, okay, I entered it. This is the value. I'm going to look through the help for that field and see if it's already there. If it's already there, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to go ahead and get out. Otherwise, I'm going to add whatever he just typed into that array. Then I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm going to serialize it and throw it to the file so I have it every time they fire up. Okay? So let me kind of go over this check assist, field assist again. Let me let you look at the structure of that. Structure is pretty set. It's got the field name and what the choice is for the help. So you can have name, and you could have half a dozen different choices for it. We first seek the AR help for the help choice to see if that value is already there. If that value is already there, then we get out. We don't need it again. Okay? Now, the reason why we're not doing it by the field name is because we may not want, there's certain ones like the tires. That's going to be on all these fields, so there's no sense in looking at it. Look at it this way. That way those fields there will constantly show on each one of them. And I can enter it in on the first one, and it'll show up on the second, third, and fourth one easily enough. And I'll show you that here in a minute. So then I go up there and says, okay, if that's not the case, give me the field name, and I'm basically what I'm doing is I'm getting the first part of the extract stream of that field name, because it is the full field name, which means it has the main screen dot field name. I don't want the main screen name. I just want the field name after the dot. So that's what I get there. And if that is if this is a common field like brand, then the field name equals brand, whatever it may be. Otherwise, leave it the way it is. Make sure the field name is what it is, and put the help choice in there and add it to the array. Then we add it to the local file out here. That's what we do. Okay? And reload the help. Reload the help for that same field name. Tell it to assist and open it up, and you're off and running. Both of these key things right here, and what I'm trying to show you, is the fact that it uses the assisted input and the assisted input add and the assisted input open in order for you to add in names or fields automatically. Okay, so let's kind of run this, and I'm going to show you in the Windows help, but it works the same on the Android. Okay, so we got the inspection site, license plate. I don't think I have anything on here that says it, so we'll go down here and we'll do a trailer inspection. Okay, ship from Laredo, status, and here's what I mean by the outbound. If I click inbound, or not outbound, I'm sorry, that's going to be deal. So this is going to be a van, no stack trailer load, and we're going to go to the next screen. Okay, so now here's all we got, the OK and damage. When I hit the damage, now you see it says it pops it up. Now when you're on the device, the first thing it does is run the camera. So you can take the picture right there. Everything's cool. When I go down to brand, you can see that there's nothing there, but if I put in Michelin as an example, and I hit tab, now I come over here and say Michelin. You see I just got my drop list with that same name there, and I can pick that. And if I got a brand name of Toyo tires, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to add it, and I can come over here and type in Toyo, and you see I've got both of them. Get up here. You see you got both of them to choose from. It's bouncing around because of the keyboard popping up. It doesn't do that on the device though. So I can literally tell it, okay, I want to do Toyo. I can pick that, and it'll put Toyo in there. Just like that. Hitting enter. That's a neat way that, especially on devices and stuff, that you can work with it and give your customer some choices as they run through. Okay? Gives them some nice choices as they run through. It makes it a whole lot easier for them because any assisted input to make sure they got the right data is a whole lot better when you're trying to do reports and stuff off of those items. So we've done all that. All of the functions within the mobile class that we've already been working with, they all been working fine. So all of our get new values, different things like that is working great. The only thing that I ran into that I don't think that I've discussed last time is the fetch image value. A lot of times the images will have a decent name on it, but I want them all tied to the same the same inspection. So by doing the get new value, that puts it like a 21 dash and then whatever they want to name it in front of it. And that really helps because now I can say, okay, my default number on this one's 21. I can go get all the images, whether they're tied to a particular field or not, and everything is good to go. So there's a few little tricks that way that I've went through as well. Now this is pretty much it for right now. I'm going to get back on the website stuff and start dissecting data, doing different things like that, and I will get back with y'all on that and show you what all I've done using the same RESTful calls for the website, including showing images and things like this. I don't remember offhand whether we got in discussion on images. So I'm going to go over that just for the moment. There's a class that we have that works with the Amazon S3. The Amazon S3 class actually sets up everything for us on purpose. Okay, so what it's done is I have a directory up there on the Amazon S3 that has all of the images you got. You can see where I've got the initial 141, 140, 139. That way I can tie these together, especially the signatures because it's on two different ones and they always go up as signatures. So I could rename them, but they work out better that way. So I can upload all these pictures. Well, there's ways to get them and do things with it. And how do you get them to the Amazon S3? That's the biggest key, is how do you get them to the Amazon S3 in order for it to be able to show on a website, be able to work with it, and put the images up there for later use. Okay, so underneath our save inspections, okay, when we save an inspection, there's a couple of things that it goes through. And let's go over those. All right. All right, so this is the inspection, and the first thing we got is we've got all of these images that we've been dealing with. as well as the inspection itself. So the first thing I do is I throw the inspection into the system. I do an add, change, or delete the inspection. Obviously, this is an add, HTTP post using JSON, and it goes. Each one of the images, the file name is attached where it needs to be for that particular inspection and item that was inspected in case it was damaged. So each one of them has that value with it. Okay. Now here's the part about the S3. We have created. Pete originally created the Amazon S3 classes for Windows, which is the Amazon base class. Amazon S3 class is the 2. I had to adjust that for mobile because there's an inheritance issue that does not work currently in Android. So I fixed the mobile portion of that to mobile Amazon S3 class so it'll work on the mobile device by itself with no issues. And this is pretty simple. We declare the mobile class and then we put whatever file we're looking at here. So if I go in there, what it's going to do is go up there and get all of the headers and the other stuff that you need. There's a whole setup thing that they've got that you've got to put in different tokens and different things like that in order to make it all talk to each other. So my suggestion, if you really want to use S3, is buy a couple hours from us. We'll help you set the whole thing up, and then you're off and running from there on. You won't need our help dealing with this at all after that. Then you got to put a bucket where you're putting the images and stuff, which is what I got is for Transcon is what it is. And then we send the request. If we send the request and then everything's good, it has sent the file up there and it is loaded it on the S3. We're off and done. All the other pictures that we have for this particular one is done in a loop, okay? And basically, since I've got the image name on each one of these is how it works, then I'm just looping through and doing the same put file for every one of them that is in there. And I do a toast display saying uploaded image 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that way somebody thinks it's not froze up. It's just, and it's working. Okay? That's what it does. So the Amazon S3 class kind of takes the heavy lifting out of transferring files or transferring images back and forth. I'm not a big proponent about putting images in a table or in a MS SQL table or a any table, basically. You could. You certainly can. But it takes more time for it to literally bring it down to your screen and display it than it is to use just a link to the Amazon S3. So, in my opinion, this is a cleaner way to do it. Second of all the images, since it is all done through the classes, there's not a particular way for a malware or something like that to go up there and destroy all your images. It won't, because there's no way for them to get to them directly. You do not have a direct particular drive letter or something to it for them to reach through like they do on your PC. So this is a good safety measure as well. Anyway, that's the few things I wanted to show you real quick on where we're at with the mobile. Like I said, it's currently being beta tested. I've got to make some changes based upon their feedback and continue to work on the site. And as I do things on the site, I'll get you back involved and we'll see if we can't get through this entire project wonderfully. All I can say is from now on, be good or be good at it. Have yourself a great Labor Day. Talk to y'all later.